Hello and welcome back to Fantasy of the Geeks, and welcome back to Star Wars Legion. Here we go with the first of our expansions to Star Wars Legion. It is an ATST, as you can see. I couldn't wait to open this. I've been holding on to this. But I'm going to have to wait just a few seconds longer because I just want to talk to you guys first about Star Wars Legion models. In our first video, when we unboxed the core set, I used plastic glue to do it, and while there was no camera trickery and it looked like it had gone together, when I came back to them the next day, all the bonds hadn't really sat, especially to the bases. So I have rebased the models and decided to put some sand and cork on there as well, which I'll be doing with this model, and you'll be able to see that. But from now on I would definitely recommend using super glue to stick all these things together.
I like the way you just hit my Rebel on the head with that.
It was in the way. There we go. So there we go. And so I went back, stuck together a lot of things, because even like the speeder bikes, these little fins all fell off and everything. Even though when I was filming, you could see they were staying on, there was no problems with it.
Yeah, everything
came back the
stuck
next
together.
day and everything's like falling to bits. I'm like, what's going on? And when I pulled them apart, you can see the glue had slightly bonded with the cement, but not a lot. So super glue is where I'm at. I just wanted to tell you all that, and I'm sorry for misinforming you. I was misinformed myself, and I will be reprimanding the person as soon as I find him. He will not escape justice. And so let's carry on.
Ooh, you have been warned.
Imperial justice. Right. So here is the ATST unit expansion. There is the back of it. It shows on the back that you do get cards in it, which we'll have a look at. Also shows 3 different weapons, which are optionals, I believe. I think you can have them all built on it though. We'll find out when we open it. And it also shows a size comparison, just show you like a model and the thing. But you're gonna see that anyway because we're gonna unbox it. So I need some sort of knife or lightsaber or some snippers. I'll do.
Yeah, you've been really excited about getting this. You should have seen him in the shop. He was just like prancing about, going.
Well, I say that everything, so even the speeder's cool.
Yeah.
I like the speeder too.
Driving back from the shop, we had the full score of Star Wars.
Yeah, Peter Griffin style.
Peter Griffin style, yeah, literally it was.
Cool. So the box opens at the top.
Ah. Oh, slide out.
Inside some cardboard spots. And
Cardboard box. A little cardboard pocket.
And it's upside down. Well done.
Alright, okay. Yay.
Could have planned that better. Leave the suspense a bit longer. There we go. That's what's in here. So that's pretty good for storage as well. Just
Keep that one.
right. So obviously, this looks like the main part of the head. We've got a lot of bits of what's basically leg, the underpart there, the feet, and I think the rest is right there. There is the base. It's the largest base we've seen so far. Let's take it out. The shiny wallet. There we go. We have counters. So obviously, so we can include that. We've got the cards are in there as well. And we have
a little instruction guide.
Assembly instructions.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is the first time probably are useful.
Quite cute actually.
Yeah. All the other ones go together pretty easily, but this is probably going to be pretty handy. We can have a look at that. And on the other side as well. So there we go. So let's. I don't know where to start. I'm going to start by putting them all together actually, because that's why you open.
I'll open that and I'll put the cards to one side for you.
So there is the head of the model. It's just got railing on and everything already. I'm surprised by that. Oh, pipes.
Oh wow.
I'm actually really surprised by the level of detail, and especially just being put together like that already. So there's the head. So this bit will obviously be small part That's a bit attached underneath. Got the feet. We've got the part of the leg structure there. These are the weapons. That being some form of missile launcher. I presume it goes on like that. I presume it goes on the side. Just from the pictures, it doesn't look like there's any joining after it, so you would just stick that on, or not stick it on as you wanted it. I didn't. Oh, should I magnetise these, do you think? It's just, I don't want to ruin the appearance, but we have, that'll be one of the side weapons, probably that one. Probably not that one. Probably that one. Yeah, that makes more sense. Sweet. And that'll be the rocket launcher. I mean, they quite securely pull in and out, so I don't need to magnetise those. Then we have the weapons that go underneath. Not sure how that connects yet. Come on, you. There we go. Lots of plastic bags. We have this bit here. Some more leg pieces, they're pretty solid. I don't know how adjustable this is, where it just goes in one position. Got like a couple of plugs for something though. The leg. Yeah, lots of bits really. Ooh, that's cool. I imagine that's probably something to do with that. But let me have a look at the instructions quickly. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're going to start with the legs on this bad boy. So we're going to start by doing phases 1, 2 and 3 and get into this bit. Just take you through that. So I'm going to do both legs at the same time, just for ease. So we take one of these leg pieces here. You can see that one there. They're not numbered or anything, so I'm not sure what they'd be called. And then we take one of these parts here. And you can see which side connects to which side because you've got a bit of the back there. All connect up. And we're going to glue those in place. I'm going to glue them for security. I'm going to do the same with this leg. So let's do that. As I said, I'll be using super glue from now on.
Did you have to say it like that as well when you're saying, I'm going to use the super glue?
It's about like saying Superman.
Right, okay.
Super glue. Unlike the mortal, crappy plastic cement. Which may have served me well in the past, but failed miserably.
Failed you this time.
Failed me for the last time, plastic cement. Right, so those are the legs with those parts on. Next, take these L-shaped brackets. So there's two. The one's got a little hole in there, and then you've got a corresponding one which has a little clip in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave these freestanding at first. I'm going to glue them afterwards. So I believe that goes in there, and actually probably better putting them. It doesn't say which side goes on which side, to be honest. So I'm not sure it makes any difference whichever end you do it. We'll find out, won't we? So I'm going to put this one on this side, then this one's going to go on this side. So I'm not going to glue that bit just yet. You could do if you were confident in the position that you're going to have it in, but that does fit together quite nicely anyway. And then I thought there was a little bit of a play in that, but there isn't. I'm doing it right. Keep checking the instructions. Yeah, just pulling that one. Let me get a bit more violent with it. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. We will glue these into position once I'm happy with the position that they're in. What we are going to glue on though is the feet And I believe these feet are identical, so it doesn't matter which one you glue on which leg. But there are two little holes underneath there. You could probably get away with not gluing it again, but I am gluing it for security so it doesn't come flying off. There we go. And now the other one. Come on, on you go. So those are the legs at the moment. Let's get in there. A bit of persuasion. Okay. Voila. Next, we're going to move on to the next part of the leg. So you can see on the instructions, we're moving on from the leg to part 4 and so on. For this, we need these brackets. Now it looks like that's the inside part of the leg. So those will be the interior sides. So that'll be on that side. This will be on this side. And there's some sort of mechanism there which goes in there. And then we have these funky looking pieces. They're the same. Kind of look the same, don't they?
They do actually, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's any support given there. It just that just fits into there like that. So on the opposite side, that's going to go well, alright. Yeah. No? Yeah.
Got it right?
Yeah, I think so. You know when you're really unsure about something? Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I remember having one of these as a toy when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When you press the back and the legs went
yeah, I remember that.
I should have paid more attention to it. Right, so those are the legs. Obviously these parts aren't glued down. We will glue everything down once it's in the position we want at the end. Now we're going to move on to the next stage, which is part 6 and 7. So we have this body part here, and we have this part there. The connections on the drawings are actually slightly different, so I presume it's been updated since they actually printed this. You see there's like a block connection there, whereas on this there are 2 little prongs. Sometimes it happens when they print things way in advance, before they've realised how the models are going to be produced sometimes. I've seen it on other manufacturers as well. There's 2 in there. I believe that's the right way up. I'm committed to it now. Always test fit your pieces and make sure they're in the right place. Don't just go ahead and put glue on things without checking it. Like I just done. There we go, I got it right. Lucky this time. But yeah, always test fit pieces. So this now shows that that connects to that, like that. This will connect to that, like that. Okay, starting to take shape now. We're going to just move away from that for a second, because it then suggests that you put it on the base. I'm going to do that now actually, but as I said at the beginning of the video, I'd show you the base. So the first thing I'll do is get this in a good position. Whenever you're basing Legion models, remember that you've got a front and a back. Doesn't matter which way around these particularly are in this case. But you've got front and back and side arcs, so it's got to be facing that way or that way. Doesn't really matter as it's like a circular base. But
as long as those are the front and back of the model, yeah. Can't be the side, because that's where you measure from.
Yeah. I don't know how much plate you've got on the actual.
I think he's broken his leg already.
Yeah. That's why these are going to definitely need to be glued in place. Just wondering how much we've got as far as, these are very static in a lot of the pictures. And in some pictures I've seen him raised up. There's a lot of movement in the ATSTs when you see them in the films and stuff. So if we bring that up a little bit, give him a little bit more height, make him a little bit more imposing. What do we think?
Yeah, make him... definitely make him bigger. That's quite good.
That's not bad, is it?
Mm.
Got a lot of wide stands there.
That is true. You're going to be off the... Unless you can pull it back a little bit.
Yeah. So we're going to end up with something a bit like that when I'm done. So let's leave him there for a second. Let's build this base. So with a cross down the centre of these bases, you'll see, that's quite noticeable. That's just for showing you where the arcs are. And I kind of want to maintain that in the models because I've done that so far. So to do that, we are going to get some of this stuff. So I've used this on my channel before. It's just cork board. You can get these in, it's quite a thin one. You can get these in like rolls from hobby shops or Amazon or anywhere you deem worthy enough to get it from. I've seen these in lots of train shops, so support your local hobbyist by buying them from there. There we go. So I've torn off a piece already. So I don't want to cover the entire base in this. We're just going to get a nice big chunk, still a bit much. So I've got plenty of different terrain. Another thing to watch out for is covering these points. You don't want to cover these because this is where the range rules are going to go in. If you want, it's an optional whether you want to overlap the edges or not. That's entirely up to you. Let's get rid of a bit of this. Yes, and get rid of that corner there. That's how easy this is, just stuff just to tear. That's about right. That'll do for a start. So what we're going to do, we're going to get a knife and I'm going to cut across, approximate cross, along there and along there. Actually back, so we have our cross cut out there, and then the next thing we're going to do, we've covered the base in PVA glue, leaving just this cross sort of shape there as well. So then we're going to take some super glue and just put a little dot of this on each quarter. And we're just going to put some of these on now. Remaining, so we've got a little bit of a line. Over there. You can always tear this off a little bit afterwards as well. Do that. Like so. Then, while that glue is there, you can see I've gone a bit over there. I'm going to tear that a little bit off so we can see the movement part. Like that. There we go. And then put a little bit more glue on that, and then I'm going to cover this in sand now while the glue's there to make the most of it. And I'm just using again hobby terrain sand from the local train shop, which I've used for a lot of bolt action scenery and stuff like that I've been making.
You've got a little sieve there as well that you...
Yeah, I'm not doing this on camera.
No.
It's just, I need to be a bit nearer to it. So there we go. So that's where we are so far. I want to leave that to dry properly. The reason that's what we use adhesive, because it gives you a nice even flow of sand on there. This also works pretty well on static grass. You ever use that? And what you do is, it's how we did the entire realm, the Citadel realm board.
It was.
When we got
the first one we got.
And we covered it in grass. We got a bigger sieve than this, obviously. Put all the static grass in, stood about 3 or 4 feet up while it was on the ground, covered it in PVA glue, then actually just sieved it on top.
Yeah. And it
you know what?
Really nice.
It's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You don't need to go and buy an electric thing to make it all stand up. As long as you do that, gravity itself makes most of it fall in that shape. Then you just leave it. That was it.
Yeah.
That's all we did.
Yeah. I remember doing that.
Yeah. Top tip. But yeah, you can see that's giving a nice thin layer of sand on there, and that's going to dry a lot quicker by using the sieve rather than clumping it on. With a small model I just clumped it on because it's just easier to do it that way. I have plenty of time to let it dry. But with this, I've done that. So what you can also do, you can build this up in layers. You could have multiple layers of this. You put other bits of rock or anything else you want on there as well. But let's just continue with the ATS. So we're back. I've glued everything to place apart from this part here. So the legs are all should now be gluing into place. There is your base finished. A little bit of sand still falling off that. That's how fresh that is. We've also put a little bit of cork on the back there. That is literally a cork. Get rid of that. That is literally a cork cut down using a knife to make it like a rock. Very effective. But you could use cork board as well for that, so you can buy that from hobby shops too. But there we go, that's where we're at. Doing alright though. Plus the cross, I think I made the cross a little bit more irregular because it's weird to have straight lines in nature, but it's still kind of quite handy to have the arcs on there as well. Plus if you get any sand in these, which I've done there, you can see, just scrape it off like that while it's drying. If it dries before you see it, don't worry about it too much, you probably scrape it off with a knife. There we go. So that is the upper body done. Sorry, lower body done. Time to move on to the upper body now. You see what I did with the instructions?
No. Oh, there.
There we go. So we're on to this section now. So we need the head, and we need this blaster cannon, and we need the mount for the blaster cannon. So there's the head, there's the blaster cannon mount, there is the blaster cannon, and again, I wonder how tight this is going to be. It goes that way around. It's pretty good actually. I feel it. There you go. So that's pretty tight. It's not going to fall out. So you can leave that. So you can move it up and down. Then with these two parts here, we'll go in those two holes underneath. If you can see that on there. So we'll glue that in place. Right. Come on, in you go. Glue that in place. Make that set. Ish. Still setting. There we go, we're on. And then we have the next parts. So this is the one which would just glue onto the side. I mean, I can just glue it on, or I could drill a hole in here, put a pin in, and put a pin in here, then you're left with an unsightly hole in the side, unfortunately. Or I could try and push a magnet in, but it's a slightly curved surface. Whoops, slippy as well. Slightly curved surface. It's going to be difficult to make that line up. I was going to magnetise this when I saw it on the box. I was hoping there would be like a little slot there or something. I'm loath to drill into it, you see. But it would be possible to do. It would be possible to drill in and put a magnet on. It's just when you've not got it on, you're going to see a little thing there. You could perhaps turn it into battle damage or into a motif or something. Then we have the other parts. We've got this gun, which did indeed go on this side. I'm not going to glue that on because A, I can move it up and down, and B, I can take it off if I'm not using it. Because these are all optional weapons in the game. We have the rocket launcher as well for the other side. Same deal with that. There's a little bit of flash on that I need to take off, actually. If you can see that on there. It's around the edges. It's the first bit I've seen, actually. And then we have these plugs, which just go in there. That's if you're not using any weapons, just to fill the hole, basically. There is a plug that'll fit in. Those are going to be glued in, and I'm going to leave them all separate, then I can move them in and out. So it's just whether I glue that on or magnetise it, or just leave it off. Claire?
Yeah. It's hard to say, really. I'm not sure. Depends on how big a hole it would be that it would leave if you did pin it. Would it be like a little pin?
There's a few magnets here I've got lying around. Let's see the size of them. This is why I never know the size of my magnets, because they've all got stuck together over time. I really need to get some new ones. Let's have a look at that one. It's about the same size actually as that. Well, what I could do is just stick a magnet on there and stick another magnet on there. Then all you'd have would be the magnet showing. Just be a little circle.
You could make something of that, I suppose.
Yeah, it's possible. Or you could go to the trouble of making a groove in there and putting that on. I'm going to have a think about this, guys. We'll be back in a second. Okay, so today we're going with the simplest of the options, which is to literally just stick the magnet on the side. Why? Because it's quite a flat magnet. You can see there the profile. It doesn't stick out too much. There's other bits of MacGuffin on the side as well, so when it's not on, it just looks like a piece of the... Or it will just look like a piece when it's painted up. And plus, it was the easiest thing to do, because these aren't really big, sort of wide magnets, so when you even put them together, the profile doesn't change that much. They give you the option of, you know, watering it up like that, or not having it on at all. So there we go. I just thought that was the easiest way to do, rather than drilling a massive hole in there. But you could make a lot of battle damage. You could paint it up. I might paint some markings on the side of this, so that when I get my second one, then I might. What?
I liked how you slipped that one in there when I get my second one.
It's a nice one. So the last piece of this is literally to stick the head of this to the body, and that's using this top of a bishop from chess. We have basically a very mobile neck there, which will need to be glued on in some position, and then we have the hole here that's going to need to go into. Still losing a bit of sound though. So I'm just going to plug this in and find a good position for the head to be sat in. Bearing in mind that this can still move up and down. So there we have it. Look at that, finished. Really easy to put together actually for a model. Got sand everywhere, that was my own choice. I've gone with a far more sort of upright sort of appearance to him. He can be more slung down as well. But it's like he's basically stalking, I think, in the position that he's in.
Yep.
And that's a large model. So for comparison, for Star Wars Legion, I'm going to grab a commander model there. There he is. Stood next to it going, bloody hell. Bet that could crush a few Ewoks. And just for model against model comparison, there is an Imperial Knight being dwarfed. Literally dwarfed. Obviously this is one without the weapons rack on top.
Yeah.
But there you go. Pew pew.
Hey, leave my knight alone.
Yeah, it's fine.
My knight.
I know. Pew pew.
Stop
pew, pew. So we got this is a really cool model.
I'm gonna be like that.
Yeah.
It is a very
Cool
nice
sound,
model
though.
actually. I shall move him out now.
Yeah.
He's had his daylight
He's had his moment in the sun. Yeah. Jinx. There we go. So I just put that at a slight tilt, like he's sort of looking in the way he's walking to make him like he's stalking forward. He's seen something over there. I'm quite happy with that.
It's a very nice model actually. I'm surprised at how quick it was to put together as well.
Turn that light off. That was a bit of a shadow there. Sorry about that, guys, but there we go. It is bigger than I thought it would be, to be honest. It's a bit maybe bigger than the Knight, but only just. It's not. It depends on how you build it though, because you could build these a lot lower down in a much more hunched position. So I decided to go for the more upright position. A little bit forward heavy, but again that's the way I built him. There we go. I might glue that in place actually as well. But there we go. So that is the ATST. That is all the Imperial stuff for now until they bring out General Vias and the Snowtroopers, which will be awesome. But, as I promised, we're going to have a look at the cards. So you can sit there, slightly off camera. You can move there. So here is the card for the ATST. I'm going to move in. Here's the card for the ATST. Got a fixed front, Impact 3. And there it is, we have the armour, Arsenal 2, weak point, 1 rear, and so on. All these upgrades you can have on the side. We'll get into more of this when we actually play the game. 11 wounds, very meaty. And there we go, 1 to 4 range on its weapons. Not to be sniffed at by a long shot, that's really good. Fence cutting blades. I think those are the things on the toes. It's really shown that model on this model, but I remember on the other model it had like a
claw, didn't it?
type
yeah.
thing. I imagine that's what that is. Sort of like stomping on your enemy. There we go. So that is the unit card. Cost 195 points. Well spent, I believe. Then we have the upgrade cards. So we have General Weiss. There he is. Or Wes. I'd say Weiss. Weiss. General Weiss. Okay. Class says it's General Weiss. Probably correct. Till the end of your activation, you gain Arsenal 2 while attacking. Each of your miniatures can use up to 2 of its weapons. That stacks with that, by the way, just so you know. So if you have taken all the upgrades that you're about to see, you can fire all 4 weapons at once. Nice. That's obviously then gets exhausted and you have to re-tap it to work again. We have the ATST mortar launcher. See there, we've got range 4 and suppressive, fixed front. I can't wait to try these out. 10 points there. 3 white dice. The 88 twin blaster cannon, which is on the left hand side. 1 of each dice, 1 to 3 range. Impact 1, 20 points. We have sand all over the place, God's sake. We have the concussion grenade launcher, 2 black dice on there. 1 to 2 range, 15 points. And we have long range comlink, which is a communications upgrade, and we have the comms jammer, which is the opposite. There we go. Sorry for the sand everywhere. It's just literally gone everywhere, this sand today. Doesn't normally go that bad.
It's like being on the beach.
Yeah, it almost is now.
You get off the beach, you get back to your apartment, you get sand everywhere in places.
Tatooine.
You didn't know you could get sand.
So yeah, there's the damage tokens, and we get the other tokens there. There's a dodge and an aim token, and the actual activation token all in there as well. There we go. So that is the ATST. Hello. That is the ATST. Very cool model. Can't wait to see him on the battlefield. I think well worth the price, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely going forward, super glue's the answer to gluing these together. I'm sorry for anyone that might have been confused by that in the first video. I was too. It wasn't just you guys. I was confused as hell. But there we go. So Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Put in the comments what you want us to do with Legion. In the next video, we'll be unboxing the T47
T47 Airspeeder,
which is another cool model. Stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye for now.
Bye.